Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're going to completely flip how you use AI to build products. If you've ever fired up ChatGPT or Claude, typed in something like, hey, build me an app, and then spent the next 3 hours wrestling with broken code and weird errors, with this sinking feeling that you have literally no idea how it all connects, well, you know the exact pain of chaotic generation. It's frustrating, right? But we're going to move you away from that frustration today. Instead, we're stepping into a highly controlled professional workflow. We're diving into the core concepts of the AI product builder methodology. And honestly, if you want to actually launch something that works in the real world, this is absolutely going to save you countless hours.
So let me ask you a question. Are you actually building a maintainable product? Or are you just vibe coding? Vibe coding is this incredibly tempting trap we all fall into, especially early on. You sit down with a rough idea, maybe a simple to-do list app, and you just start throwing random requests at the AI. Give me a feature. Okay, now write some code for a login button. Oh, let's make a landing page. And it feels super productive in the moment, doesn't it? The text is streaming down, the code blocks look legit, but the reality? You aren't actually building. You're just reacting. You're stringing together random, disconnected outputs and just sort of hoping they magically form a business.
And that brings us to this point. Speed without structure creates chaos. It's pretty much a fundamental law of software. Vibe coding gives you this ultimate illusion of rapid progress because, sure, an AI can generate ideas and thousands of lines of code in literal seconds, but that speed, it quickly devolves into a totally unmaintainable mess. Think about what technical debt looks like when AI generates it. It's dense, it's overly complex, and because you didn't write it, you have absolutely no clue how to fix it when it inevitably breaks. A bunch of isolated, generated code blocks is just not the same thing as a finished, functional product that users can actually trust.
To put it simply, random prompting creates disconnected outputs, while structured product building creates a path. Let's look at it side by side. Random prompting is kind of like having an army of highly caffeinated robotic bricklayers, but absolutely no blueprint. You end up with a graveyard of scattered files, you're constantly guessing what prompt to write next, and none of the pieces actually talk to each other. Structured building, on the other hand, gives you that blueprint. It creates a cohesive, logical path forward. You get real architecture and actual launch readiness. It's the difference between a messy pile of bricks and a fully designed, weatherproof house.
So let's dig a little deeper into part one here, the vibe coding trap. When your project suddenly gets way too complex to handle, it is rarely the AI's fault. It's almost always a breakdown in the human workflow. Vibe coding feels like absolute magic right up until the exact second it all falls apart. If you're wondering if you're caught in this trap, check for these symptoms. Are you building stuff nobody actually asked for just because the AI suggested it? Are your AI outputs totally unpredictable, changing wildly every time you hit enter? Is your file architecture a total disaster? We're talking about a desktop cluttered with files named app final version 3reallyfinal.py. If so, you're probably stuck in an endless development loop where fixing a tiny front-end bug completely breaks your entire back-end database. Which leads us to our next major section, part two, structure over chaos.
We need a massive paradigm shift to fix this. We have to stop asking the AI to just do everything all at once. You need to step into the role of an AI product builder. What does that mean? It means you stop letting the AI randomly dictate what gets built, and instead you treat it like a highly capable assistant working inside a tightly controlled system. Think of it like a movie set. You're the director, and the AI is your camera crew. The director doesn't physically hold the boom mic or rig the lights, right? But they absolutely dictate the vision and call every single shot. You provide the strategy and the final judgment. You own the product. The AI just executes within the boundaries that you set.
All right, part three, the planning phases. Let's see how we actually do this. This is what separates the pros from the amateurs. Before writing a single line of code, you have to move through these 4 planning phases. Let's break these down in simple language. First, the idea check. You use AI to validate if the problem is actually worth solving. Second, strategy. You set your direction and figure out exactly who you are building this for. Third is product design. This is where you map out the actual user experience, like where the buttons go and what they do. And finally, requirements, defining exactly what the product must do, writing down the strict, non-negotiable rules the AI has to follow. You figure out what it is, who it's for, how it works, and the rigid rules it has to obey. Only once that is done do we move to part 4, building and launching. This is where your structure meets AI speed. Let's quickly go through these execution phases. You start with prompts and your AI workflow,
creating structured, reusable instructions so the AI behaves predictably. Then comes the build phase, where you finally transform those designs into actual working files and code. Next is QA validation. This is absolutely critical because we all know large language models love to confidently hallucinate. You have to rigorously test the product against the requirements you wrote earlier to ensure it actually works. And lastly, the launch phase, executing intentional release steps to get your product out into the world.
Now, if you look at this layout, you'll see the real magic of this entire framework, the clear chain of dependencies. Literally, the output of every single phase becomes the exact starting point for the next phase. There are zero gaps. Your validated idea feeds your strategy feeds your design. Your exact requirements perfectly feed your build prompts. If you skip a step, like, say, trying to build a feature without writing the requirements first, the AI just starts guessing. And the second it starts guessing, boom, you are right back in the vibe coding trap. But by following this chain, your structured path is entirely laid out for you. Which brings us to our final core concept. You are the builder.
AI should enhance your thinking, not replace your structured process or your judgment. You really have to internalize this philosophy. AI is an incredibly powerful engine for speeding up tedious tasks and generating boiler code, but, it completely lacks human intuition. It has zero empathy for your end user. It doesn't understand the nuanced business context of your specific market. That is exactly why your judgment as a human is irreplaceable. You have to evaluate the output. You control the architecture. You are the builder who decides when a product is truly safe and ready for the real world. The framework gives you the rails, but you are driving the train. So let's leave all that chaos and frustration behind, shall we? Stop random prompting, build with structure. AI is the tool, you are the builder. Go to www.principlebuilderai.com to start your journey.